time is running out. In less than a minute, we expose the truth on the Conservative Viewpoint's emergency broadcast system. Stay tuned.
We are living in a time where the very fabric of our nation is being tested by those who seem committed to tearing it apart. Across this country, we see a disturbing rise in political violence and civil unrest, which, let me give me a second real quick here. This way, and where are we going here? There we go. Oh, shit, what happened? There we are. Okay. Which has reached a historic highs as we navigate 2026. It is no longer just a disagreement in the halls of Congress. It's spilling into our streets, filled by toxic environment of inflammatory rhetoric. This is the Conservative Viewpoint, and I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. Now, for years, we've watched certain political factions have utilized language and that dehumanizes their opposition, framing national success as a zero-sum game where one side must be destroyed for the others to survive. This is not the American way. This is the Democrat way. This is a calculated push toward instability. We see the consequences: a spike in threats against public officials and climate, where the fear of political violence has become the mainstream concern, ranking as a top global risk of 2026. The evidence of this division is so clear, whether it's through the manipulation of information, the failure of leadership to condemn the volatile rhetoric of their own followers, or the aggressive, often militarized response to political dissent. The goal seems to be the erosion of our shared trust, our constitutional foundation. When our institutions are weaponized and our communities are pitted against one another, it is the ordinary citizen who suffers. We must be clear about the directory that we are on, a dangerous path where institutional decay is marketed as progress, where the rule of law is constantly undermined by the Democrats who should be its staunch defenders. Now look, keep questioning the narratives and join me as we continue to break down these issues and fight for the truth here on the Conservative Viewpoint, because the show begins now. Hi everyone, welcome. It worked tonight. Everything started up fine. I played with it after I got off here last night for a little while, but I was dead tired. And then I worked with it again this morning at 4 o'clock this morning. And I unchecked things, put things back in, and went over it again, made sure I went live twice just for a second, just to make sure everything went working. And it worked fine this morning. So I was crossing my fingers that everything going to work tonight, and it did. Thank God for that. We don't have another headache like we had yesterday. But thank you guys for showing up tonight. I got a little bit going on here tonight. We're going to get through it because it's been a hell of a day. And I started off this morning with 5 things in here. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, a lot. Yes, started off with 5, ended up with 15 or 20 things in here because there's a lot to go over. And this is going to be a mixed bag of nuts. And we're talking about Democrats, of course. So I played with it last night and it didn't work. Oh, John, yeah. So I couldn't help it. I'm old and it doesn't work. So, and I have problems now with my vinyl cutting machine. That's not what John's talking about, but we're not gonna. Yeah, it never works. But anyway, yes, we got a lot going on. I got my vinyl cutting machine. I'm having trouble with it. So after I shut everything down, the company that I got it through SignMaster says it's all the stuff that I have on my computer that's freezing my program out. So we're gonna see after I get done here and I can shut everything down. Couldn't do it now because I'd lose everything. So, all right, guys, welcome. Let's get over here to the Rumble and the Wimpkin Warriors over here. And oh shoot, I forgot to bring that up. I got to bring that up real quick here because there's a dude in Wimpkin that doesn't have a clue of what's going on in there, and he thinks the stocks are going to be worth something in Wimpkin, and they're not going to be worth anything. And let me find it here real quick. This guy thinks that Wimpkin stock's going to be worth something, and it's not going to be. Well, we're going to get into that here in a second. And if it comes up here, and I had trouble finding him last time now, and I can't find him this time. And I know I spelled his name right. Let me make sure I got it right here. Oh, I spelled his first name wrong. That's why. So we're going to find out here in a second about that. But here, let's get over here to the Rumble and find out. We got Texas John, I know, started us off right before the show kicked into gear. We got Fixes in the house. Mr. Fixer, he's right there. Pat, my great Pat right there is right there. Pat. Hi, Pat. Yeah, sorry, Bob, guys. It's nice to see you guys in here tonight. And we got the Getter Gang over here, and we got Shell starting us off tonight. We got Joe Public and Conrad. What's happening, folks? Nice to see everyone over there. And let me find out where he's at now. What the hell? He's not coming up, Pat. I don't know why he's not coming up in here. He should be coming up. Blank and yep. Now I had him on my phone, but now I don't. You know what? I can probably bring him up on there easier than I can bring it up here because I'm getting ready to delete Wimpkin out of here because it's worthless and he's worthless. So nice to see everyone tonight. We're gonna get moving here in a second. But I want to mention this guy first because it's funny where he thinks looks like he's God Almighty or something. And assholes put kill switch in here. Okay, not that one. Where's it at? Oh, Pat, I lost it, man. He must have where did you get that? Ah, there. It should be in here somewhere. Now, this guy believes that in Wimpkin, this guy believes that Jace is actually selling the place. Doesn't realize that Jace is a swindler and a scam artist. Saying, it's possible that Jace is rolling back costs right now before sale in August. He's so full of shit if he thinks there's going to be an actual sale. Having audited the DM pairing in the past, bulks near to be Nigerian dudes chatting up. This dude is out of his freaking mind if he thinks anything's going to happen. With that Wimpkin is a lost platform. They might as well just shut it down. He's been stealing money from there from day one. And that's what's going to happen. This guy thinks he's God's gift to the stock market or something. He says for 15 years that he wrote stock market portfolio analysis software. In reality, that the platforms lost perhaps $250,000 of each of the 5 years and netted a small profit the year stocks was issued. Under normal circumstances, each share would be valued at 20 cents to the dollar. Extraordinary circumstance. This has nothing to do with the lies that he should not have been selling stocks in the first place because he was not public trading these stocks. Now he takes off. He sells fake stocks to people like me for the fentanyl testing and goes off and takes off running. So this guy sits there and he believes everything that a scam artist, a con man, is telling him. And the fact is, he's a con man. He's been convicted of being a con man, wire fraud, and all the good shit before. And these people on Wipkin are still believing him. It's not going to happen. We've done it for years. We've had to put up with his lies and bullshit. We fell for it for a while there. Oh, yeah, I'm doing an upgrade. My feed's going to be greater than ever. You're going to do things you've never seen before. Well, shit. You can't even do live streams at all on Wipkin. You can't do anything on Wipkin. That place is going down with the ship, and he's taking off with the money. They need to wake up and see the truth right there. Wipkin is shot out. All right. Let's get busy here now. Big news for the week, right? For overnight. Dana White from the UFC was asked if he would do another White House UFC fight, and you guys had to heard it. He said, no fucking way. Not that he didn't enjoy this. It was historic, but it cost him $60 million. And he cannot afford that, he says. And to produce it and everything, oh yeah, he said 3 times the $20 million price tag of UFC 306, he said. You know, but he enjoyed the hell out of it, but for $60 million, no. But by putting the stage up and everything and all that stuff, yeah, he said no fucking way will he do another. You'll never have to. This is a one in a lifetime. We will never see what's happened for the 250th anniversary of the United States. None of us will. I lived through 1976. Most all of us on here did. And we will see what's happening on July 4th, which for me, it'll be July 2nd. I was working on that right before the show started, and to try to get more stuff for the show, because it's going to be a red, white, and blue throwback Thursday, guys. You're not going to want to miss it on July 2nd for my last show. Did you see the interview with that Democrat caller that wanted Elon to pay for health care for all the immigrants? What? Also, a bunch of mom and pop clubs are closing some just today because our Senate passed a bill to take 52% of their money. Too late to cry now. Should have had voted. Exactly right, state to state. No, I did not hear that. Did you guys hear about that? That some idiot Democrat wants Elon Musk to pay health care for all immigrants. Fuck them. He's out of his damn mind. We ain't paying shit. We've already paid enough for that. 1976. It's going to be all about 1976 on July 2nd for my last show, guys. It's going to be a bicentennial, some quintennial, whatever the hell it is this year for the 250th. Guys, mark your calendar, July 2nd, 7 p.m., guys. It's going to be a hell of a last show. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Yep, there's only one 250th, Conrad, and we're going to see it. We lived through the bicentennial, now semi-quincennial, whatever hell it's called again. We're going to see all that. I've been trying to open a new account, and it won't let me, and they won't reply to emails. Marianne, hi, lovely Marianne, and Colin from Scotland. You guys, well, there he is right there. Guys, what's happening? So anyways, let's keep going. The FBI, the big news, the tricentennial. There you go. That's an easier way to say it. Thwarted drone attack, a sniper attack at the White House UFC event. Not only that, according to the FBI, they had plans on raiding the White House and taking over the White House with these people. Oh, yeah. This is something big. The drone attack is the new way of warfare, guys. And this is what people have been warning people about. And one thing I got to agree with Dan Bongino is that he has warned people that this is the new state of the warfare. It's going to be the drones. You're not going to have to worry about boots on the ground. It's going to be attack drones. And that's what these guys had planned. Then here again, they said about the drone and the sniper attack, and they all had plans on taking over the White House after they bombarded the event, because there was billionaires and Navy and military personnel and all kind of higher up echelon people and all that stuff. And they were, so far, 5 people have been charged. And where's it at? 3 of them have been identified. One of them was Tyson Proper, weird name, 19 of Ohio. Brian Omar Roa and Michael Allen Thomas of California were also arrested. Now, they have suspects in Missouri and Nebraska were also arrested on Monday, and federal investigators said 23 people were involved in the plot. They found the website where they were talking about this and planning all this stuff. So this is where a lot of this came from. They were plotting all this online, and they had details and everything. From California, a guy named Michael Allen Thomas was one of the alleged organizers of this plot. And I told you about the Ohio one. Then the one kid from Ohio, I think it was, spent $3,000 of his graduation money to purchase ammunition, guns, and extra magazines for this stuff to go on. So it just continues on and on. So luckily, they stopped this before it ever happened. We lived very close to there about 8 years. I am not far from there, Tammy. Texas, Tammy. Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Tammy just popped in there, guys, too. Washington was president before the Bill of Rights were ratified in 1791. Holy shit, I did not know that, Conrad. Thank you for that. You guys got to bring that on my last show, man. Bring everything that you know about anything and everything patriotic, that we're going to have a blast on my last show on July 2nd, guys. You got to get in there and help me out here. We're going to go down in a blaze of glory. Let me tell you what. All right, what's next? Next on the hit parade. Oh, this idiot General Clark to Newsmax said Iran's deal appears asymmetric for the U.S. Now, this guy says that the emerging agreement between the United States and Iran appeared to require Washington, D.C. relinquish significant leverage before securing meaningful concessions from Tehran. This retired Army General Wesley Clark from NATO's Supreme Allied Commander said on that. Now, there are so many stories out there, and I know Trump did say he should read word for word what the deal is, and I agree, because this one comes out of Gateway Pundit, and some of the details that supposedly have emerged from the deal. Now, you can't take this with any kind of grain of salt, I'm telling you, because of the fact this is speculation. You're not telling you where it's coming from. Well, per New York Post. So that's saying it right there, right? So here we go. Iran, the U.S., and their allies would stop fighting across the region, including in Lebanon. Tehran would reaffirm its pledge never to build a nuclear weapon. This is never, okay? Not Obama's. You can only build some. Not all of it, not just some. The U.S. and Iran would work out what happens to Tehran's enriched uranium stockpile. That should be a no-brainer right there. Tehran should have no say-so in it. It needs destroyed, period. Both sides would open talk on Iran's future enrichment activities and nuclear needs. That is a no. That is a straight-up no. No talking. It's no, or we bomb the shit out of you. As simple as that. Now get this one. Iran would maintain control of the status quo of its nuclear program, which has been largely decimated while negotiations continue. That should be another, oh, hell no. The U.S. would lift its naval blockade, hold off on new sanction, and refrain from sending more troops to the region. Okay, well, we can deal with that. We don't need our troops in the region. Now, Iran would guarantee safe, toll-free passage for commercial ships through the Strait of Hormuz for 60 days. So this tells me right there, they're still negotiating, so there is no real deal that's supposed to be being signed when? In a couple of days? So that tells me there's no real deal here. Washington would release an unspecified, get this one. This is oh, fuck no. Washington would release an unspecified amount of frozen Iranian assets once the MOU takes effect. No, this is what Biden and Obama did, and they started their shit all over again. This is exactly what you'll see again if they fall into this. Radical Right, Sean Justice, and Texas Red. Hi, everyone. Good to see you guys. Glad you made it. When Israel drops a shekel and picks it back up, it hits him in the back of the head. I can believe that one. You got that right, Colin. Americans and our economy are the only losers right now. You got that right, Fix. None of these Nick, are going to keep their promise on anything. You're right, John. None of them. No, none of them are going. They're lying ass Muslims. I don't even know how many times I say it. I don't even have to say it. You guys see it yourself. You see the lies that they do all the time. Look at the dumb idiot jihadist in New York. He lied to everybody through his whole campaign. Now he's lying to him again now that the idiots passed him in, put him in as mayor. Look at Omar the raghead, nasty bitch. I mean, you just got to look around. You see it for your fact. I don't even have to say it. That's the problem we have here. All right. What else we got here? A couple more things here. A final deal reached after the 60 days would see the U.S. withdraw its forces within 30 days and lift all sanctions on Iran. No lifting all the no. Iran's got to prove themselves before all sanctions are lifted. Pulling our guys out of there, I have no problem with that. That's it. Now it says it would pave the way for $300 billion reconstruction fund in Iran. Now, what I heard today, I can't remember what it was on, but none of this money is supposed to come from the United States. Trump said no, but it is coming from the other countries. Everyone else is going to pitch in to pay for this money to Iran. He said that the U.S. would not pay any money to Iran. We'll see about that one, too. Now, the U.S. would allow Iran to resume oil sales through temporary sanctions and waivers. And the last thing I found was Iran, Oman, and Gulf states would negotiate new shipping and maritime security arrangements for the Gulf. Okay, have no problem with that either. So this is some of the things that they said have emerged from there. Somebody found in New York Post. So when you're talking New York Post, New York Times, any of those dumb fake liberal, they are, no. You can't believe half of anything that they're saying. So this is what we're finding out right now. Now, I wish Trump would do what he says and read verbatim, word from word, exactly what's in the deal that he is putting through. The hell with the going around hiding stuff, people leaking shit. You know how that works. You guys ever play that game where you whisper into one person's ear, they whisper into the next, you go around the circle, and it comes back to the last person, and it's totally screwed from what the truth was, whatever they said at the beginning? That's what this is. All we see is lies coming one ear out the other to another, and it changes how many times before we get to the end. And that's what we're seeing right here. But it was challenging yet pain in the ass playing around under the hood. What? Oh, the hood of what? They can sell oil now. Well, they can, but they had trouble getting the boats in there to get the oil out, Sean. So, but we'll find out. Trump will read it Friday. According to Texas Red, Trump is going to read it on Friday. We'll see what happens with that one, too. We'll take a look. All right. But there is one major cost that's falling now, faster after Trump Middle East breakthrough, and that is the oil. Yes, sir, Bob. We talked about that yesterday. Crude prices dropped to $83 a barrel from 96. So it wasn't too bad of a drop. Let's keep them dropping. Let's keep them dropping. I want to be able to afford to drive my truck again, which I didn't get a call from the car dealership about my tires, which I got to call them tomorrow about. I got to get tires on my truck. I'm leaving Sunday, and I can't afford to not have them. All right. All right. Get rid of that. One America. That's in there. Trump dares Iran. We're going to have to get into those, too. That's what the Watchdog report says. Trump dares Iran on media and live TV. So there's so much going to come out, guys, over and over again that's coming in. That will we get the truth? If Texas Red is right, it went to 77. Texas Red said oil went to 77. The last one I got was 87. Thank you, Texas Red. That's dropping like a freaking bomb down. I like that one. The hardest part was getting the serpentine belt. The serpentine belt, that's a tough belt to put on, Sean. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys know that serpentine, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, especially on these new cards. Republicans bat down bid to handcuff Trump's war powers as peace deal nears. Yes, Democrats are at it again. They tried to do it, but the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, James Rich, argued that the resolution passed. Iran would back out of any further forthcoming peace deals. So they squashed that again. That's what's got to be stopped here. Hope that's a double. We got rid of that one here. So, yes, today was election day for Georgia, Alabama, and New York. So, and I think it was New York, right? Or D.C., I think it was. I think it was D.C. They had elections today. Now, I did hear that Trump pick out of Georgia did win the Republican nomination. So, for the Senate seat in Georgia. So, that's a good one. And what else we got? I haven't heard anything else about Alabama or anything in D.C. or anything like that. So, make sure nobody said anything about that in there. All right. And we got crybaby Hakeem Brother Muslim Jeffries. We were talking about him last night, and he was caught off guard when pressed on high gas prices, when he was saying gas is through the roof. But then somebody finally asked him, well, what about the prices under Biden? They were still higher under Biden than they are now under Trump. And the sumbitch didn't know what to say. He's a piece of shit, dildo head looking sumbitch, and he needs to stay off the news. But this is what he does. This is what all Democrats do. This is where you get tonight's show with their violent rhetoric and the outcome that we're seeing around the world. You'll see it from all these articles that I'm talking about. This is the stuff that the Democrats push every time you turn around. I put a remake. Okay. He's talking about a car over there. Skin Flute Symphony. Fixer, you got that right on the money. You're talking about Hakeem Jeffries, right? Oh, yeah. He plays the skin flute very well. I'm pretty sure about that one. I'm so sick and tired of these Democrats. This is what you see. They cry. And you'll see a lot of these coming up here in a second. And they want to sit there and lie. And like I told you yesterday, they don't tell you the truth. They don't tell you the story. They tell you a story. And everything that they do, this is what they do to ruin this country. There's that word, dildo. I'm telling you, man, he is. He looks like one. I can't help it. A dildo with ears. That was my famous saying back in the day. And he looks exactly like a dildo with ears right there. You see that little skunt up of his? That looks like the tip of it. I'm telling you. And that the dildo that nobody else would use but some dude, that's probably his boyfriend. Oh, yeah. That would probably be it. So, yep. Hakeem Brother Muslim probably uses it on his sheep. I don't know. Who knows? You never know. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, some more crying and whining going on. I'm going to let you hear it, Rotten Crotch Crockett, here in a second. Because the perpetual victimhood and racial tribalism of Carmelo Anthony's defenders. Oh, yes. These people, like Rotten Crotch Crockett, are still sitting there running their mouths. The racial division it's all about race. It's so sickening that the man, he was already proven guilty, and he shouldn't have been, for one, having a knife in school, and then shouldn't have been there. He was asked to leave nicely for some reason. All this was proven fact in court. And now they want to push the racial thing. And wait until you see this video I found of Rotten Crotch Crockett and how she looks in here. And guess what's back? Her accent. Oh, yeah, she's on a black podcast. So how do you think she sounds? Well, listen for yourself.
Also, I mean, can we just be real about this? Like, who's, I mean, like, why are you rolling up on somebody and being like, get out? Like,
Right.
this is, to me, this is the culture that is being instigated. Yes. Mostly because of like, you know, y'all know how we say on the internet, don't let your president get you fucked up, right? Like, because people get bold. They get real bold with us right now, like, you know, and this whiteness and this replacement theory crap that they on and all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, we the victims, because the fact that, you know, any kid would feel like it makes sense to walk in and see this particular kid. I mean, we've all interpreted that there was a race component to this. Yes. And be like, oh, yeah, it's raining, but get out. Like, why? Like, why? Exactly.
You hear that? She sounds as black as she looks. And just look at her. She's nasty. Bitch shouldn't have those glasses on. I mean, oh my God. Wow. And I mean, I don't even know what to say. The dumb bitch running her mouth, thinking this guy's as innocent as ever, which he's guilty as ever. He should have done life in prison, period. The kid died. He stabbed a kid. He died. And that was a hell of a blade. Remember, I showed you that. Plenty enough to get. The shanks that they use in prison aren't that big, and they can kill people with them. The shanks they use can only go in probably in a couple inches. And if you hit them in the right spot, and those guys know where to hit you to kill you, and they've done it. So she's going to sit there and she don't know what the hell she's talking about ever. Thank God Texas got her the hell out of there. Like, exactly, Shell. Like, why? Holy shit. What a dumb bitch. I'm telling you what. Crazy, right? Now, more of the violent rhetoric from the Democrats. Because everything that you see that's going on here, anywhere between the bloodbath border crisis, all the illegal criminals, all the crime that they have committed in this country, all the riots that are going on, every protest that you see going on, all because of the Democrats. They're paid by the Democrats, the rhetoric from the Democrats, everything that you see, the shootings, the assassination attempts on Trump's life, everything that you see, you could pin back to the Democrats, including this one. Shots fired as fleeing suspect strikes an ICE agent with their vehicle. Now the manhunt is underway in New Jersey. Now all you've got to do is go on. You can go on to TikTok. You can go on to X or any of it. But I'm so tired of seeing all this stuff because you can pinpoint it every time you look at something. These people sit there and they run their big ass mouths like everything that they're saying is right. And it's wrong because they believe what the Democrats are spewing out of their cum catchers. They are so pathetic. It's unbelievable. And every time you turn around, they want to run their mouth. They want to get pissy. They want to get violent. The problem is that we haven't, I guess, reached a point where our violent side hasn't come out because of the fact that I know, and I know a lot of other people that are conservatives, and you don't even have to be a Democrat or a Republican to be conservative, that if you get into the face of the wrong person, and I am one of them, and you sit there and you spit in somebody's face just by talking and you still spit in there, I'm going to drop you like a hammer. It's as simple as that. And I was, did you just say I did? Yes, Pat. Sorry about that. But that's what the Democrats do. That's all they do. Because sorry, Pat. I'm hoping you're the only one that caught that. But anyway, these people spew what comes out of their mouth is disgusting. And I saw a couple of them, a couple videos of these guys in New Jersey. And the one guy that thinks he was some looking bullish big guy, thinking he was going to push around on this. Pat, it's with Pat. It's all good. I would have dropped him because he kept getting into the face. And there's like a personal bubble space here. You don't get up here unless you're a good-looking woman and you're about to kiss me. No, you don't get here. I'm going to flatten your ass because spit's going to come out of your mouth, and the only spit I want to see is a woman that's going to kiss my ass. And not kiss my ass, but kiss me. And nobody else's spit's going to come in there, except especially some dude. I'd have dropped him like a hammer. And this guy, he must have done a podcast or something. And I don't know the guy's name, but he let this guy get in his face a couple of times. Wouldn't have happened because of the Democrats' bullshit. This is why I titled the show what I did. Because it just continues on. Democrats melt down over this, too. Listen to this. Over a $1,700 educational tax credit in Trump's big, beautiful bill. They complain because private schools can now reject students for bad grades and bad behavior. Really? These people think that private school, my son went to a private school. He went to a college preparatory school from 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Was not cheap. Think they shouldn't be able to kick these kids out because they have bad grades? Does that make sense to you? This is the kind of shit you get from Democrats. They are exactly showing, again, what their priorities are. Because they think that these private schools, and the reason why they're private is because they want the top of the line kids. And we knew my son was smart. I mean, beyond smart. Before we put him into this place. This is one of the top college preparatory schools near us. And you had to go through one hell of a procedure and interviews. And I had to be interviewed. My wife and him and his grandparents all had to be interviewed to get into this school. And if one of us screwed up, he would never have gotten in. So this pisses me off where they don't think that you should be able to kick a kid out because he's got bad grades or he's got bad behavior. Look at the kids nowadays. They don't have a behavior but bad. They're sure to hell not polite. They're hoodlums. And that's what the parents let them do. More Democrat bullshit right here, guys. What else we got? Well, cartels. Cartel cannibal rituals. Oh, yes, guys, this is what some of the stuff that these people have had to endure to get in, to come here illegally. And this is what the cartel members have put them through. Listen to this. This is a chilling cartel story titled, "Eat Some Ants for Us Before We Kill You." Shows you how barbaric the Mexican gangs have become while Washington elites spent years looking the other way on the bloodbath border crisis. This is all thanks to the Democrats. A cartel link report claims that victims was forced to eat ants before being killed, but that specific detail is still unverified. Documented cartel rituals included forcing recruits to eat parts of murdered victims as a twisted loyalty test. Oh yeah, they had to eat dead skin. Mexican prosecutors are already probing gruesome cartel videos and torture, showing a pattern of an extreme brutality of what these people had to go through. Plus, you had to pay them to sneak you into our country. Americans have been kidnapped and killed by cartels, proving this violence is not far away from us. And here's part of it. You can't even go to a resort in our country without being worried about being attacked. 6 men allegedly kidnapped 2 people on a vacation resort, tortured them at a boat ramp. And this happened in Margaritaville Hollywood Beach Resort in Florida. Oh, yes. And I did I download that? I did not put it up there. Of the people, you got to see these guys. I mean, I did not download it, but you could show that it looks like part of them probably not even from here. They don't tell you that, but they were armed with semi-automatic weapons, wearing masks and everything, and latex gloves and everything, and in a resort. This is the kind of stuff from the Democrats. This all leads to the violent rhetoric that they push because these people know they're not going to get in trouble because Democrats are going to protect them. That is where it leads from. Oh, yeah. It's crazy, right, Marianne? It's just that school is tough to get into. And, oh, yeah, you had to look a certain way. You had to have money, obviously, and that wasn't me, thanks to my in-laws. But I think we spent 4 years, $150,000 on that school. Oh yeah, I mean you golfed and lacrosse and oh yeah, it was crazy, right, guys? It might have been more than that. I don't even remember because they flipped most of the bill. So some more Democrat crybaby bullshit here going on, guys. Trump directed the DOJ to launch politically motivated investigation into him, Newsom, and his wife. He's still crying about this because the man's crooked as hell anyways. We've shown that how many multiple times throughout all these shows the last 3 years that how crooked California is because of him. And we haven't even scratched the surface on Newsom. Oh yeah, and his pathetic wife. It's so unreal. God, keep the crying going. On top of that, we got the SPLC's back in the news again. We're not even done with them. The director now have allegedly used donor cash to fund secret romance with a neo-Nazi informant, according to the indictment. It just continues to go, guys. Every time we turn around, this is what we find. We find more and more and more. I've been doing 3 years of live streaming, and then I did 2 years of videos, Pat. I've got over 2,000 between my videos and live stream. So yes, I've been doing it for 5 years now, and it's actually it does take a toll on you for a while. I'll quit talking about old Japanese cars. I was liking it. I'm a mechanic. I'm an old-time mechanic, Sean. So when you were talking about the serpentine belts and everything like that, that kind of caught my attention. They're talking about cars over in Getter. And like, I love muscle cars and stuff, growing up. I had my Mustang with Charger and the 70s Charger with the flip-up lights and all that crap. And I mean, I had a lot of cars and I enjoyed them. I rebuilt motors and everything. Oh yeah, I was an old-time mechanic. Now, to do work on these cars now, forget it. Now, with the computers and shit, you got nowhere to work in them. You pretty much have to pull an engine out to work on those cars nowadays. So they kind of suck right there. So I don't think it's that long. Wimpkin started in 2020 and 2021, unless he did elsewhere. I did, Pat. I actually started on Rumble. And I was on Wimpkin when Wendy Bell was on there doing her shows. So whenever that was, that's how long it's been. I've went back and I've checked all my things, and oh yeah. And I even lost. Oh no, you know what? I was doing them on YouTube, Pat. And that's when I got booted. from YouTube. Yeah, they didn't like my mouth back then either. All right, what else we got now? Okay, we got O'Keefe and the O'Keefe Media Group. They infiltrated New Jersey Antifa. And inside, they found Rutgers University director, T-Mobile's AI leaders, sorry. They found OpenAI ChatGPT engineer in Antifa. Reverend from Princeton Theological Seminary and ACLU board members have been exposed by all this within the Antifa group. So we're talking some of the highest uppity up pieces of garbage. No, Pat, unfortunately I have to do this. That is something important I have to do, unfortunately. But anyways, yes, they have exposed the Antifa, and they put all the names down for all the people that they have exposed through this Antifa group. Now, that they have uncovered proves that Antifa is not just an idea. It is a network of real people organizing, coordinating, and operating inside of America. Inside the group's signal chats, members discuss plans for port blockades, riot activities, support networks for criminal defendants, road spikes, tire slashing of New Jersey police vehicles, and Ukraine-style protest tactics. They also celebrated acts of political violence, including Charlie Kirk's assassination, and hoped that the past attempts on President Trump were successful. Some of the names would go Woo Jin Ko of OpenAI ChatGPT engineer, Belkacem Mufak. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but it's close enough. T-Mobile's AI automated expert, Zainab Tanver, image director of Rutgers University, Amanda Marie Dominguez, Rutgers University, she's a PhD student of education, Aditi Rao, Princeton University classic graduate student, Reverend Shannon Smythe, Princeton Theological Seminary Field Education Director, Alexis P., New Jersey Coalition of Sexual Assault Community Council member, Jim Keedy, New Jersey Democrat candidate and former city councilman, Cress Felucci, National Lawyers Guild co-founder and ACLU board member, and Celian Seaman, good name for there, co-founder of Slow Factory Labs. Guys, these are some of the richest people ever, fixing all these protests that you see, burning down cities, planning Trump's assassination attempts. Everything that you see here, guys, is planned by these rich people. And this is what we're seeing every day. Hence, again, the title of the show, guys. Because of these dumbass Democrats, this is violent rhetoric, and this is what you get. And this is what gets exposed. Thank you, O'Keefe, for doing all this stuff. Now, this article I did not read yet, guys, but here it is. Obama's library rocked by scandal as he refuses to pay his contractors. Oh, yeah, another piece of shit Democrat, Obama. We've known he's been a piece of shit forever. If there's one thing Obama's perfect during his 8 years in the White House, it was spending other people's money. Trillions upon trillions added to national debt, healthcare promises that disintegrated the second they met reality, a governing philosophy that amounted to grand vision bankrolled by someone else's wallet. Every single time the pattern repeated, big announcements up front, the invoice quietly slid across the table, American taxpayers paying it all. Now he's got that monstrosity of a presidential museum, and the contractors and subcontractors involved in the construction of this horrendous site have been claiming that they have not been fully paid amid ongoing payment disputes just days before the center is scheduled to open, which you have to pay and show an ID to get into. Really? Yes, you do. It's like $30 to get into this piece of shit monstrosity. According to the reports by Fox News, several contractors say they have suffered losses ranging from hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions as disputes continue. The allegations comes as question remains about Obama's foundation long-promised endowment fund. Under a 99-year agreement with the city of Chicago, the foundation gained control of the publicly owned section of Jackson Park for $10 and pledged to establish a significant endowment intended to ensure taxpayers would not be responsible for future costs associated with the center, which is a lie, which is what the Democrats do best. They lie about everything. We've seen it. We see it now. It's the mausoleum. It's the mausoleum. Yes, the Muslim-leum. Thank you for that, Rock. Hi, Rock. I did not see you there, Rock. But guys, yes, this Pinocchio dildo. I like that. Pinocchio dildo. That is Hakeem Jeffries' brother, Mother Jeffries. Oh yes, that's who that is right there. But you expect anything else out of Obama? He's a racist pig, and they're still crying about the joke that UFC fighter said when Michelle Obama is a man. They're still crying about that. They got their panties in a bunch, and it's hilarious. I love every bit of it. The last thing I'm going to tell you is this Ohio police chief faces 280 years in prison for this is disgusting, for dozens of charges related to sex with a minor. A police chief. Yes, that is so disgusting. A man is supposed to protect children is sexually abusing children. This Chad Esser, 44, of Blanchester, was indicted by Claremont County grand jury on 56 third-degree felony counts of sexual battery, 14 third-degree felony counts of unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. This disgusting pig needs hung by his testicles in public and let the parents of all these children have at him. That is a disgusting pig, and he needs hung out to let the parents take care of him. The family members need to do this. That's where you bring stoning back and let them do it slowly but surely. Make him suffer for every damn thing he's done to these kids. Oh, yes. I'm telling you what. That is disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. But we made it through there, guys. And I want to show you something here. This is the Democrats. And there, you know how bad they start their violent rhetoric again. They started the No Kings protest in here. And here it is. This is what they really want when they're talking about the No Kings protest. Listen to this.
Democrats say they want no king. I guess they mean no working, no thinking, no making sense, and no fact-checking.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. And Fix put it right. The death penalty. Yes, a slow, painful death penalty. Oh, yeah, just give him a razor blade. Let him slice him a little bit here. Like, no main artery, just slowly. Just do it slow. Let him die in the most painful way possible. Because what do you think he did to these kids? The kids have suffered the most painful, disgusting thing that they've ever had to do in their lives. And that's the way a pedophile should be treated. With the most painful death imaginable. Pain is the only thing that they're going to realize. Yes, there goes the dumbass Democrats. I've been trying to run up the news for Throwback Thursday this week, guys. I'm getting them on. Tomorrow I'll finish them off and try to get them all put on here. And then I'm already starting to work on the last part of the last show on my last show of July 2nd. It's going to be a doozy, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. I got 15-minute video that I made for my contribution to the 250th anniversary. Plus, I'm going to give you a look into the Flight 93 Memorial here in Pennsylvania, because I know a lot of you guys will not get the chance to get here to see it. So I'm going to bring it to you. Here's a little bit of snot news, guys. One more thing before we roll out of here. Snot news in the new Iranian Navy. Take a look.
Ready, aim, fire!
A spitball from that tiny canoe!
France has surrendered to the tiny canoe. Stay tuned to Snotwire for the latest.
That's funny right there. I couldn't help it. I had to do it, guys. I know. It was funny. So it was freaking awesome right there. How long can someone be kept in the verge of death? Put an IV in them. Fix. Stick an IV in them. Let the parents have them. Yes, death by 1,000 cuts. Love it, Tammy. That is perfect. Put an IV in them so we don't lose too much. Even if you got to hang a liter of blood or something. You know, put it in there and let it pain. And then give them some salt to rub in those cuts. Oh yeah, put the salt in there, rub it in there, keep them alive as long as you can, because death is too good for pedophiles. And every damn Democrat that backs these people should be hung right by them. Tie a noose right around their testicles, and that's the way you hang them, just like that. No pain medicine. Oh hell no. If it's big enough. I don't know if you can tie a rope to something like this, because that's where the Democrats are at. They're right in here, right, maybe right here. But that's where you got to just tie that shit off. And if you got to get maybe floss, you might be able to get floss around it for them, because that's what we got to do. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Remember, no show tomorrow, but we will be back for Throwback Thursday on Thursday. Yes, sir, Bob, guys. So we are going to do it. I got a lot of work ahead of me, guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Thank you, Marianne. And I hope to see you on Thursday for Throwback Thursday. So I'm going to leave you with this. But thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of the Conservative Viewpoint, everyone. Because as we look at the challenges facing our nation, remember that the power to change is in our trajectory, lies in a commitment to truth. Our refusal to be divided and our dedication to holding the principles that built this great country. We are the architects of our own future, and it is up to us to ensure that the visions of a free, united, and secure America remains our guiding light. So I want to take time to each and every one of you and thank you for watching and engaging in this vital conversation. But please note that tomorrow, there's no show tomorrow night. But I look forward to seeing you all back here on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Don't forget that, guys. Mark your calendars. Eastern Standard Time for an exciting installment of Throwback Thursday. So until then, guys, stay strong. Keep the faith. Good night, everyone. I'll see you on Thursday.